Welcome everybody to the Town of Cedar Lake Building Corporation special public meeting for February 5th, 2024. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We'll start with roll call. Nick Canetti.
Here.
Tracy Haskell.
Here.
Margaret Yaley.
Here.
Jeremy McNamer is absent. Cheryl Parker.
Here.
I am present. Jeff Bungie, Town Manager.
Present.
David Austin, Town Attorney.
Present.
And Cheryl Hyduk is absent. All right, we'll move on to election of officers. Is there a nomination for president? Any nominations for president?
I'll nominate myself. I mean, can you do that? Like,
I'll nominate. I'll nominate and be president. Okay, so Cheryl is nominating Tracy.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a second?
I second it.
Oh, thank you, Meg. All right, are there any other nominations? Hearing none. Mr. Canetti?
I can.
Well, we'll do roll call vote if there's no other nominations.
Oh.
So, just yes or no?
Yes.
Yes on the president.
Yes.
Mrs. Haskell?
Yes.
Mrs. Yaley?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
Vote passes 4-0. I will turn it over to the president.
All right. Now we need a motion for vice president. Like, anybody like to make a motion for vice president? Okay, I'll make a motion for Nick for vice president. Can I get a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, Cheryl seconded.
Other nominations?
All right, any more nominations? Then I'll call for a vote.
Mr. Canetti?
Yes.
Mrs. Haskell?
Yes.
Mrs. Yaley?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
All right, Nick is vice president. Now, like, anybody like to make a motion for secretary? I'll make a motion for Cheryl to be secretary. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Margaret seconded. Any other motions for secretary? All right, call for a vote.
Mr. Canetti?
Yes.
Mrs. Haskell?
Yes.
Mrs. Yaley?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
All right. Now, approval of minutes. The minutes were from the meeting February 16th, 2023. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I can make a motion to approve the minutes from February 2023.
And then I will second it. So Cheryl made the motion, I second it. Anybody have any questions or comments on the minutes? And then we'll call for a vote.
Mr. Canetti?
Yes.
Mrs. Haskell?
Yes.
Mrs. Yaley?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
All right. New business. Utility easement agreement for the new fire department project. Where are we going to get information?
Madam Chair, may I?
You may.
Thank you. As you know, and as you drive into the town complex, we're building some buildings, public safety facilities. Those facilities are being built on town-owned property. They did not require, at the time of process, a subdivision plat process. What was discovered post-commencement of the project was that there was a need for an easement for NIPSCO. That easement is on the north portion of the lot on which the fire station will be located. and it will be required to be given to NIPSCO for any work NIPSCO will do on that property in the way of improvements. NIPSCO has also informed town consultants that they will not commence their work until there is an easement, so that they are properly, lawfully, and correctly entering the property with authority, if you will. So we need your consideration of the easement grant, which is before you. It should have been in your packets, and processing of that and recordation will keep the NIPSCO component of the project in process.
So there was no easement before this?
There was not.
I'd like to know why there is only an easement on the north side of the project. Is there not gas and electric lines that are running from here and up already?
There are.
Okay.
Those were not in NIPSCO's wheelhouse. NIPSCO is requesting this easement for the area where it will propose it and construct its infrastructure.
NIPSCO's doing an infrastructure up there?
Underground, yes.
Oh, so they're gonna have to dig down and install something?
Bingo.
Okay. And that's gonna service both, buildings?
I believe so. I've talked with the engineer at quite some length about this. The design, or actually the hatch-marked portion of property that is subject to this grant is all they need, at least as we've been reported to this point.
Okay. I just have one other question on this then. So will this be a problem with any functions or events held on the, town property here?
No.
On the north side of that building? Is that gonna be cordoned off, or where NIPSCO's gonna have the easement?
No,
Everything's just underground, we don't have to worry about
it's
it?
underground. I
You
cannot tell you about fencing or any of that.
Yeah, you may see I don't know, a monument-sized transformer that sits on the ground, probably about the size of one of these tables. But I think the rest of it, I would think would be restored into just, green space and
So
lawn.
there wouldn't be any problem with any functions that, or any, like soccer or anything?
I would think minimally, like I said,
Okay.
it's not gonna be much, and for their safety reasons, if they feel it needs to be fenced, then I'm sure they will make that happen.
As we draw closer to completion of the structures.
It'll be spring when they're gonna be doing this.
Spring, early summer. This project has a tentative finish date of July 5th or thereabouts.
It depends on the building, but, they think now that the, police station is moving a little bit faster than the firehouse. They've had some, weather delays, on the firehouse part of the project, but, as of right now, well, as of the last, property owners meeting, they were a little bit ahead of schedule with the police building.
Any other questions?
No, I just, it looks like in this one, paragraph, it looks like they will, at their own expense, restore the area disturbed by its work as near the original condition as is practicable. So that means, like what Jeff was saying, they'll restore or return it to what it should be.
The grass and everything?
Yeah, okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Go right ahead.
Here, where that easement is located, is that close to the building or on the other end of the the north end of the parking lot? Where, is that gonna be a parking lot there?
It's going to run perpendicular to Morris Street, to the north of the firehouse building. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
How close is it to the building, or is it off the parking lot? Or is that not where the parking lot will be?
As far as the building goes, I'm not sure. It probably pretty much abuts the piece of property that has been set aside for the public safety building, but to give you a dimension as far as how far it is from the building itself, I don't know if
Yeah, and we don't have the site plans with us here tonight. We just have the easement description and the survey.
Okay, well, that's what, I couldn't tell from the picture.
So it looks like that's a 15-foot wide easement that we're giving them?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's still town-owned property, it's just subject to the easement.
So will it be in the fenced area that's already fenced off?
Can't tell, Bob.
Can't tell?
That's construction fencing. The final and finished product is still to be done.
Any other questions? All right, it's time for a vote. We already made motions, right?
No, I don't
No.
have any
Okay,
motions
we just
down.
got the information. Would anybody like to make a motion for the utility easement agreement for the new fire department project?
I'll make a motion to approve the utility, or make a motion for the utility easement agreement for the new, this says for the new fire department project, but it's actually for both, correct?
It is,
Okay,
according to the engineers.
yeah, I'm just reading the agenda.
Yeah, so now question, should we make, because it does say utility easement agreement for the new fire department project. It's for both the fire and police
It is.
project?
It is, that's what
So
legal,
should we state that? Should we?
you don't need to,
Okay.
because the legal description falls exactly where they show it
Okay,
on the plat or easement exhibit in the dimension in which it is located on the entire project parcel.
okay,
I had that same discussion with the engineer today about police and fire,
okay.
but the legal description covers it.
The legal description covers it, okay. Cheryl made the motion, did anybody second it?
No.
Anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
Margaret? Margaret second it, can we call for a vote?
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mrs. Haskell?
Yes.
Mrs. Yaley?
Yes.
Mrs. Parker?
Yes.
All right.
Question, will this have to go to the town council now?
No?
They have authority to do that?
Yes.
Okay,
All
Building
right.
corporation owns the property, Bob.
okay.
We lease it.
All right,
That's how it works?
yep. And I'd say any public comment? Bob already did that.
It's attracted a lot of folks here.
we sure are.
It's a huge crowd. All right. Anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those,
Aye.
all right. Adjourn.